Guys, it's Miss Vile here. I'm here to read you guys a new story called Goldilocks and the Three Bears. This is a classic story that I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard before, and if not, then get ready because it's an awesome story. This week we're focusing on sequencing and beginning, middle, and end. So I thought this would be a great book to kind of talk about the beginning, middle, and end of the story, and talk about the characters and the setting. So let's go ahead and get started. This is again on Epic, which is super easy to get onto. If you haven't gotten on Epic at home, it's great because you can get it on your phone as an app or on a tablet or a laptop and all of that. So here's Epic. If you need help getting logged on, let us know. It's super awesome for reading books, and some of them even read it to you. So here we go. Goldilocks and the Three Bears. Once upon a time, Goldilocks was playing in the woods near her home. As she skipped along the pebbly path, her golden locks bouncing, Goldilocks suddenly stopped and sniffed the air. A yummy smell was coming from the middle of the woods. Rumble, rumble. As her tummy grumbled loudly, Goldilocks followed the delicious smell. Soon she found herself in front of a little house. "I wonder who lives here," she said. Goldilocks knocked loudly on the front door. Knock, knock, knock. But at the last knock, the door swung open. There was no one at home. Goldilocks saw 3 bowls of porridge on the kitchen table. "I'm sure no one will mind if I have a little taste of this porridge," she told herself. Goldilocks ate a spoonful of porridge from the biggest bowl. "Yuck," she cried. "This porridge is much too cold." Goldilocks tried the medium-sized bowl. "Ouch," she gasped. "This porridge is much too hot." Finally, Goldilocks took a mouthful from the smallest bowl. She sighed. "This porridge is perfect," and she ate it all up. Then Goldilocks went into the living room for a rest. She saw a big chair, and a medium-sized chair, and a tiny little chair. Goldilocks climbed onto the biggest chair. "This chair is too big," she said. Next, Goldilocks clambered onto the big medium-sized chair, and the cushions were very squishy. "This chair is too soft," she cried. Then Goldilocks tried the tiny chair. "This chair is perfect," beamed Goldilocks. She was just getting comfortable when, crack, the chair broke into pieces. "Oh no," Goldilocks gasped. "Perhaps I should lie down instead." Upstairs, Goldilocks found a big bed, a medium-sized bed, and a tiny little bed. When she jumped on the big bed, it was too hard. The medium-sized bed was too soft for bouncing, and the little bed was, well, perfect. Goldilocks sighed happily, and the little girl crawled under the covers and fell fast asleep. Meanwhile, 3 hungry bears returned to the little house. They had been for a walk while their hot porridge cooled down, but the door was already open, and there were muddy footprints in the hall. Uh-oh. "Someone's been eating my porridge," roared Daddy Bear. "Someone's been eating my porridge too," growled Mommy Bear. "Look," squeaked Baby Bear, "my porridge has all gone." The 3 bears went into the living room. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," chair, roared Daddy Bear. "Someone's been sitting in my chair too," growled Mommy Bear. "Someone's been sitting in my chair," squeaked Baby Bear. "And they've broken it." Suddenly, the 3 bears heard a noise coming from upstairs. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," roared Daddy Bear as he climbed into the bedroom. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed too," growled Mommy Bear, straightening the cover. "Someone's been sleeping in my bed," squeaked Baby Bear. "And she's still there. She's fast asleep." Goldilocks woke up with a start and screamed. The three bears watched in surprise as she ran off through the forest as fast as her little legs could carry her. And guess what? The three bears never saw Goldilocks again. The end. You're going to use the 5-finger retell. Okay, so hold up your hand, you've got 5 fingers, and when you get to your thumb, I want you to think about the characters of the story that you just read. In the story we just read, we read Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and sure enough, we have 3 bears, and we have Goldilocks, right? So we have 4 main characters in this story. Now, the most of the story is revolving around Goldilocks, but the bears do come in, and they're a big part of the story as well. Okay, now that's our thumb. Now you point to your next finger, your pointer finger, and that is the setting. Okay, and the setting is where the story takes place. So in this story, we are taking place in the woods or at the bear's house, right? So when I think of the setting, I think of the bear's house. Okay, and that was a picture from the book. All right, and now go to your next finger. This is going to be the beginning of the story, and we got to think back on what happened in the story in the very, very beginning. Now, you could do this in a couple ways. You could open back the book, look at the pictures, reread, or just do it based on memory. And since I know this story really well, and I just read it to you guys, I know that in the beginning of the story, the bears go on a walk, right? And they leave their house, and Goldilocks knocks on the door, right? She knocks, but no one answers. So then it comes to the middle, our next finger. The middle of the story is kind of tricky sometimes. You don't always have to write a lot, but even just kind of sum up what has happened in the middle of the story. You don't want to retell the entire thing, just the main important parts. So I know that in this story, she tries a couple different things, right? She tries the porridge. She eats the porridge, which is kind of like oatmeal or soup or whatever you want to call it. And she tries the chairs, the bear's chairs, and then she tries the bear's beds. Now, I just picked one thing in the middle, which was her eating the porridge. Okay, I just used that picture as the middle. And lastly, I know for sure what the ending was. Okay, you guys remember how she is sleeping in the bed and the bears come home and they find her and then she runs away. Right? That's how this story ends. This is how it wraps up. So I picked the picture of her running away once they come home to see her. Okay, so these are all pictures from the books to kind of help you guys visualize a little bit better. Now, if I were to do a beginning, middle, and end sequencing paper on this, like I have given you from this week, I would write down, if I have space and if after I've drawn my picture, I would write down in the beginning of the story, the 3 bears go for a walk. Okay. And I could also add that Goldilocks knocks on the door. I could add more details, right? But I'm just giving you guys kind of an idea. Then in the middle, Goldilocks tries the bear's porridge, chairs, and beds. Okay, that's just all the things she did in the middle. And then at the end of the story, the bears come home and find Goldilocks. I could add that she runs away. I could add a bunch of different things, but that's generally what happened at the end of the story. Okay, so this is just kind of to help you guys understand what you're going to be doing this week. Let me know if you have any questions, ask your teachers, but this is, again, sequencing and summarizing your story, beginning, middle, and end. So can't wait to see what you guys come up with.